Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible? Uh, so I'll just give a very. I think you know what the panel is. I think we've got a very interesting panel for an interesting topic of you know what what are the factors to look at while scaling up businesses. I think you already heard the earlier panels where they spoke about what do you do when you start up, and we're going to discuss about what to do when we scale up. And I think the panel consists of capital providers, very interesting entrepreneurs, and intermediaries who are also helping entrepreneurs and capital providers meet. I think that's a good combination of good set of people. So I think while we start the discussion, I just thought maybe just to give you just to give you on the topic, we thought we'll just we had a discussion just prior to this. We thought the best way to look at it would be to see what are the factors that we need to look at while scaling up. So we can put those into three buckets. What is the vision and thoughts of the entrepreneur and the management team? Second is around capital, and third is around people. So we'll just hear a few views from the panelists on these three factors. Nat, would you want to start?
Hi, I am from Helion Ventures. We are a 10-year-old VC firm. We have 3 funds aggregating to $600 million. We have 73 investments totally, and we have exited 13 and we have 60 investments. We are doing a 4th fund. That's the background. And I keep coming to some of these events in Kerala. I think a lot of known faces to me. I am also active in Thai Kochi. So when I see the topic, the first point I was just telling Hitendra and the rest of the panelists, I think we should not ask this question that how can the companies in Kerala get a scale-up funding? Was that the topic? So I was just saying that is, I don't think that we need to be very offensive to be in Kerala. I think all of us have to be very, very proud that we are in Kerala. Okay, number one. Number two, I think whatever problems the people in or the entrepreneurs in Kerala have, the rest of the India also have. So except maybe 1 or 2 small changes, behavioral changes, I think the Kerala entrepreneurs may probably have to do to catch up with the rest of the place, which I think we can cover. But otherwise, I think there is a lot of support from the government of Kerala, which Siju talked about also. And I think there are organizations like Thai Kochi who organizes a lot of mentoring session. And during this panel, we'll also touch upon how some of these entrepreneurs behave in the mentoring session, and then what we as investors think that the entrepreneurs can change a little bit, and in terms of the vision and the what your expectations with the people.
So just to give you context, so I'm very new to Kerala. I think 5-6 years ago I visited the old version of Startup Village, which I'm sure is very different. So things seem to be moving forward. The way I would answer this question is, like Nat said, it is not so much about somebody sitting in Kerala, but fundamentally from a context of a early stage, seed stage entrepreneur, what should you be doing? From my experience in Equity Crest, wherein we essentially help promising startups raise money, one thing we've noticed is that capital is not limited to a place. Angels are investing in different cities, right? So there's no problem. Many of them do not mind cold calling, interesting, passionate entrepreneurs reaching out to them from anywhere. So as far as the capital question is concerned, there should be no shyness. What does happen is that the crying baby gets more milk, so the further away you are, the more you need to cry. So going back to some of the points made by the earlier panel is about outreach and visibility, which is perhaps an area to consider. So if you're further away from the cluster of $600 million pools of capital who are sitting in Bangalore, you need to essentially budget that extra energy and time and perhaps expense to spend the time and reach out to more people. That's on the capital side. As far as the main tenets of how to scale, etc., the other thing I would say is that your business model, if it is consumer focused, you may have piloted it in Kochi, but perhaps then you need to do more than that, because perhaps that may not be enough validation for a VC if it's a consumer play for other cities. So you need to keep that in mind. And on the other points, I guess we'll come to later, since it's a sizable panel, so I'll let my other colleagues talk to some of the other points.
Thank you, Deep.
2012. So we are the only company in India who has the both top developer and Google and Editor's Choice badges on Google Play, making us one of the best Android developers in India. In the last 2 years, we have acquired close to 15 million users worldwide. All of this we did bootstrapped. So we have not raised a funding, but have acquired these many users. So the thing is, most people relate or associate large number of user acquisitions to huge amounts of money. Let's say 60 to 65 rupees per user acquired. So we did all this without any money being externally funded. So that is possible. The only thing is, I think I really value is, rather than a lot of money being pumped in, if we can get really good advice. We have had the privilege of having Rajan and then the MD of Google advise us on several terms. So this gives us a different perspective, right? So what to do right the first time. So if you fail on the first time, you may not be able to get a second chance to do it again. So there are certain things that you have to get it right the first time. So I think the right advice by right people, I think that helps your startup go a long way in your journey. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, John. Arjun?
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Arjun. Like John, I am a localite. I started this company, Profounders, along with my 3 friends from college. We started it in 2012. Now we bootstrapped the company for close to 3 years and then raised a couple of rounds. Our company has gone through 3 of the globally acclaimed accelerators: Microsoft Ventures, Startup Chile, and Black Box Connect in the Valley. From a team of 4, we have scaled up to 70 now. We have got a global user base of more than 100,000 people. By the way, we are a B2B company. We help the sales and marketing people to understand more about their customers. Coming to this topic, my being a localite and kind of having a knowledge of what we entrepreneurs in Kerala think about scale and funding. One of the things that I have noticed is people don't seriously look at scale, right? First of all, to get scale, you have to look at scale in a very, very serious way. You need to think that I have to scale. And when I say scale, people think about, hey, I need to acquire 100 customers. No, I need to acquire 1 million customers. That is the kind of scale thought difference that I have noticed. When I move outside, luckily with my startup, I have been traveling around with most of the well-known startup ecosystems in the world. And I've seen that when those people start off, the vision is huge, the scale that they are thinking is huge. And they follow the scale with that mindset. That mindset is kind of missing from our ecosystem. I'm not generalizing and telling as a whole, but a chunk of the people don't really think seriously about scale. That's probably the initial starting thought that I would like to put on the table.
Hi, I'm Krishnan from Ankur Capital. We are we are an impact fund based out of Mumbai. We make seed level investments, i.e. we are typically the first institutional investor in very young startups, but focused on 4 segments because that's where we think the social impact mandate will be fulfilled, and those are the segments of agriculture, education, health, and also rural non-agri businesses. So, looking at the stage at which we engage, for us, that's the most important question, which is that, look, what we are seeing is a company or really an entrepreneur with a good, not an idea, but with a product of some sort. And the question is that, is this, going to be is this going to be a company of some size and scale, which helps us to also ultimately get our money back and feel good about having sort of really invested in a company and got it to, or in an entrepreneur and got it to a company of a certain scale. And so that's the question that we ask, and the way we keep looking at all these entrepreneurs and proposals that we get. So for us, when we talk about scaling, it is really we look at dimensions which are not really about capital. Of course, we are bringing in the capital, but what I would say, and it was great to hear Arjun say that as well, the first thing we look at is that visualization of scale, right? Is there scale in the business that they are looking at in the first place? So that's an internal examination we do, and we hope to take the entrepreneur to that, through that journey. The second is about the phasing of that scale, because none of these are linear, right? And the kind of issues that you encounter, the kind of models that you need at different phases of it are very different, right? And we want to know, what is it that, to what phase do we take the entrepreneur up to, what's the capital it requires. The third part of it is, preparing for that scale, right? And so therefore, we recognize that most of our funding in the initial stage is just about saying that these are those critical things that you need in terms of team, in terms of a structure, certain critical mass of customers, and what we are really funding you and supporting you with an operational team that works on the lines of marketing, HR, and finance is really about getting you to that point of time. So the part about managing scale, which is the fourth element of it, when we look at the life cycle of a successful company, we are hardly there. But it's the first three things which are most important. Also want to underscore another point that John made recently, earlier, which was really about that. So scale is not just about capital. You don't go from 10 customers to 10 million just by throwing in massive doses of capital, and I think they've demonstrated that. So it's these three phases that we, elements of it that we look at to kind of really tell us whether the company is going to scale, and that's how we put our own resources behind helping them to do that.
Thank you, Krishnan, and well said. So I think if you look at some of the key takeaways from that part of the discussion was that I think there is obviously requirements of capital, which is very important. The question is when and how much. I think that's something that people will vary in what they want. I think that's something that if you have any specific questions, you should ask the panel. Second is, I think someone made an observation of people, how important is people while scaling up, because when you are starting up, there is 1, 2, 3 people with similar thinking process. Is that enough while you scale up, or is that not enough? And what do you need when you scale up? I think that's another point that that you may need to want to have a discussion on. Third thing is like Arjun said, it's about the vision, right? What is that you are chasing after? What are you running after? I mean, are you looking to solve a problem, or are you looking at just technology which doesn't solve any problem? Just because you are mentally very happy about doing something great. So I think these are the three aspects. I think the panel will be very happy to take any specific questions you have, so that it can be more interactive. I'm here just to give a very quick introduction of myself. I think I missed that. I represent Carpe Diem Capital. We are a growth capital fund, SME focused private equity fund focused on investing in companies who are creating a consumer brand or an organized service. We are we're based out of Bombay and Delhi. I'm based out of Bombay. And we don't do seed stage or venture stage investing, but we do growth stage investing. So if there are companies at that stage, we would be very happy to look at, irrespective of where they're located. Thank you. And any of the co-panelists want to add something to this? Yeah. Thank you very much.
Just one comment. We were discussing this in the panel. I think we talked a lot about mentorship and getting high quality acceleration and mentorship and things like that. I think the mirror image of that is listening to the mentors. So I would also urge the entrepreneurs to, that the best entrepreneurs are also good listeners, and investors also look for that, and it really helps them. So you need to have a mindset to listen. You may fail once and twice, but you need to sort of introspect and also hear from others. Maybe there's a different perspective which will help you improve your outcomes. So do keep that in mind.
Great.
Thank you. Any additional closing remarks from the other panelists? Any other panelists want to do a closing remark?
I was thinking like all of us can do a closing remark, but now that nobody is doing, I'll just do. Uh, I think, when, at least again from a localite perspective, I think when we start a business, it's okay to spend us some time figuring it out, like 6 months to, we are always figuring it out, that's different. But, just trying to see what we are trying to do, for 6 months, 8 months, we can do that. But after that, we should decide on what we are doing. Are we trying to do a lifestyle business where we are going on running, just generating enough cash for us and probably the people around us? Or are we looking to actually create something at scale, create some value, go global, or, things like that? So I believe that the mindset is the first thing that should change, and the mindset should clearly go at scaling up and growth. And again, scaling up and growth are very different from capital raising, right? Capital probably is needed for scaling, but in some cases, like John's cases, he has created massive scale without capital, right? Without injection of external capital, I would say. So first of all, think through and have a clear mindset on where you want to take the company in the 3 years, 5 years line, and then reverse engineer and see what you should do now. That's probably my remark.
One last thing I would like to add is, I am basically helping RBI, SEBI and Government of India on the startup policy. So the recent startup policy unveiled by the Prime Minister, I am actually one of the party to that. And believe me, all the governments, so we can keep blaming Kerala, saying that, oh, government help is not there, our trade union is there, are all gone. I think those are all beaten to death now. Okay, so I think my submission to all the people is, just don't think that there are constraints. Like this artificial intelligence lady, so she was saying, I think we cannot say that there is a constraint in Kerala. There is no constraint anywhere. Okay, so and when I was talking to Samir was there in the previous panel, and me and Samir were talking, that when a proposal comes to us, we don't say that is he from Kerala, then we will not look at it. Nobody look at it like that. So whether you are from Kerala or Kashmir or Tamil Nadu, Bombay, everybody are same, right? And government has got lot of initiative in all the state governments I have seen. I am actually advisor to Government of Telangana on the startup, and I know Kerala is doing lot of stuff. Of course, central government is going to do lot of stuff. So there is just no constraint. I think this is the best time to be in India, and I always feel that always it is a great time to be in India. So please don't constrain yourself. That is, I think, just think that there is no constraint. Then automatically everything will happen. So scale will happen, people will happen, mentorship will happen. First in your head you have to think that there is no constraint around us. That's the one.
Okay, thank you.
Just one more question.
There was one question.
I'm sorry for the delay in asking this question. It just popped up right now. I'm Haris. I am a digital marketing consultant for Untangle Pro Strategy Services. That's the name of my company. Anyway, that's irrelevant. The question is quite simple. This is the second panel that I've been noticing, which I watched. Not 100%, to be honest. I came in late. So if this subject has been touched upon, I do apologize in advance. What is the role of a modern business in the society? What is the societal connect of a modern business? And can a modern business survive without that kind of a connect with the society, in a community? Because we see that the best of businesses, the best of all the businesses that we see around, the world-class businesses, have an actual social connect in the society, giving back to the society in which they live in. We do not really see that in the Indian startups, no matter how glamorized they are. I do not see that topic being discussed at any point in the two panels. Is this not something that is this because we're not ready for it yet? Is there a difference in the way Indian marketplace works? Or is it just that it's something that we tend to ignore? Anybody, please, thank you.
I think I'll give it to the other panelists, but one of the points that maybe it did not, I don't know whether it came out clearly or not. I think what we were trying to address was, when you're scaling up, what you need to look at is that what are you actually solving? What problem of the society or of people at large are you trying to solve? Or that's I think that's what you're getting to. I don't know if that's your
He's asking about social impact.
I am, yes, I'm asking about social impact.
So
It's not about serving your consumers or your customers. It's about serving the society in which you live. And is that not an integral part of a modern business? That's pretty much my question.
anyone else wants to take that?
So we wouldn't be running a social impact fund if we thought that way,
no,
right?
not at all. No.
And I think you're absolutely right, it is about both. And that's why, when we look at solving the problem, right? And if you look at India, most of the problem relates to that 700 million odd people who are, not in this room. They will never be in this room, right? And so therefore there are a lot of businesses that can become very large in scale just because of the large numbers out there. What needs to happen is that the ecosystem is also rather, is not continuous or is not easy to navigate. So the way we look at it is, you build small businesses which are pilots, figure out the replication model. Not all of them will be as easily replicable, but by creating these models in place, you bring in capital to look at similar models that can address the issues for the entire 700 million. So I think we do definitely see a lot of potential in this area. I think you start small and then you will see that there will be large businesses that will be addressing these issues.
Okay. So I think the reality is like people are going to use your product only if they really find value in it. So the only reason why 15 million people download our apps is because they found something extra, right? You look around the other apps in the store and then you find our app. So there is something different, or there's something that is very closer to them. That is why people use our apps, right? Same thing, there was this once a young Brazilian girl. She sent us a message after cooking I think chocolate cake for her mom on her birthday, right? So the only way we could actually touch a Brazilian girl's heart from India was to actually create a product that had scale. So, and again, another product that we've done is called Fitberry. Again, it's changes people's lives on the health, onto the health side, right? It provides you healthy recipes and stuff. So again, these kind of products, what they really do is, only if people find value, they're coming back to it, right? And then using this particular angle, they kind of give away that same joy. So we tell at our office all the time that we are in the job of spreading happiness, right? We spread the joy of cooking across the world. So I think unless you have this underlying very strong motto within your company, within your team, within your apps, or within your product, that is the only way people are going to relate to it, and only your input will actually transcend, right? If we are focusing on joy of cooking for people, that's the only when people are going to, okay, fine, I'll throw a party, call my 10 friends, and then make something awesome for them. The only way people are going to do it is because you tell them, see, oh, this is what we are trying to do, spread the joy of cooking. So I think every brand has this underlying principle on which they operate. I think that is the kind of social impact probably they can do. May not be like social service all the time, but there are certain things very small but intricately woven into your product that kind of provides this happiness to people.
All right, we're almost out of time, but your final thoughts.
I know. So social impact and social service are very different. Like personally, me as an entrepreneur thinks myself as a person who would like to change the world, right? That is why I wake up every day. That's why I keep slogging 18 hours a day. So when you think about it, mine is a simple technology company, right? We create a tool, right? But if you, in my perspective, here is how we work. We have a company here where we are hiring 70 people, social impact, all from Kerala, okay? We give this tool out to the salespeople. We are improving their lives, right? Helping other people, social impact. Then, because of our tool, those companies are getting better profitability, because of which the rest of the company is getting benefited, social impact, right? Because of we are generating revenue, we are paying taxes to my country, social impact. There is a survey from central government which says that every rupee that the central government puts into a startup, from the third year, the startup gives a tax of 3 rupees per year recurringly, right, on an ongoing basis, which means that every rupee is getting converted into a lot more money. Imagine Google, simple search engine, right? But the kind of impact that they are making at this point of time is phenomenal. So social impact and social service are different, but I believe that every entrepreneur who is creating a scale is creating phenomenal social impact. That is why there is scale.
All right, on that note, this has been a very interesting panel discussion. Can we have a huge round of applause for all the panelists?